From a land of ancient wisdom comes a voice for a modern generation, a voice of calm in a world of chaos, a voice of clarity in a world of confusion. Now she is bringing her unique blend of light-hearted humor and profound spiritual understanding to the U.S., the Caribbean, and Panama.
You don't start walking a marathon the first day.
Hi everybody, welcome to your next normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. Today we're talking about changing negative thoughts, waste thoughts into positive. How to be able to transform this habit. It is such a habit in the soul that we don't even know when we're actually being negative. I remembered many, many years ago when I had first come to Washington D.C. and there was a few who had gathered for the positive thinking course that we offered at the center. And one young lady just looked up to me and says, "Oh, I'm with my friend. I'm very positive. She needs it." So she sat in the course nonetheless and went through a month of the process. And would you believe that after she was done, she says, "Oh my God, I didn't know I was so negative." The point that I'm making is that many of us are so unaware of that process, of that pattern. It's subtle. It's kind of ingrained itself in our character that we're not even aware of it. Despite the obstacles and the challenges that we bump into on a regular basis, we never address our obstacles and challenges coming from the seed of wasteful thinking, of negative thinking. We generally project our difficulty or challenge onto someone because of him. She did it. They did it. The government is responsible. You hear now the percentage is so high. I don't trust government because I don't trust myself. If there is no government, there is complete chaos. You have to think on these levels. When we keep projecting outside of ourselves, you're the problem, you. And you stop addressing the issue within you, you lose a golden opportunity to claim triumph and victory over the inner chaos that lives in you. Just because you can't believe that your original nature as a soul is love and power. You see, we somehow get into the one thought starts. Oh, why did they do that? Another thought. What just happened? That should not have happened. Another thought. How in the world am I going to manage? Another thought. Who, what, where, when. Everything is projected outside. Everything is about what others are doing or just the way you think it should be. You know, you think in that way. But you don't know where the waste thoughts started. Nobody knows the root cause of their waste. Their wasteful thinking, their lack of confidence, their lack of focus, their ability to find peace and happiness in challenging times. Nobody can remember, where did my waste thoughts begin? Where did it start? Think about it. It started the moment you began to really sink into your physical form. The moment you became body conscious, waste thoughts was ready. Waste thoughts were ready to just take over your thinking. We are souls, and by nature, the nature of the soul is peace and love. But let's say I cut my finger and I'm traumatized. Did you see how he cut my finger, and now my fingers, look, it has a scar forever. And every day you look at the scar, your whole body is okay, but every day you start to look at the scar, it shouldn't have happened. Why did that happen to me? This must be my karma. But why is he shouldn't have, I'm going to come after them. It just goes on. Waste thoughts are rampant. They're like constant energies. It just has no focus. It just keeps going. It's very fast. It's like a bucket with a hole. And no matter how much you fill it, it keeps wasting. Waste thoughts waste our life. Each thought is connected to a breath. Each thought is connected to a breath. And if I can think in a positive way, I breathe healthy, and I send positive energies throughout my body, and wonders can happen. And if I begin to use this great mechanism called the intellect to complain, criticize, compete, judge, what does it do to my breath? It reduces the longevity of my life. Because I'm really not living. I'm wasting my life by thinking waste. So let's say you cooked some food. In the old days, there were no refrigerators. And you cooked the food and you fed the family. But there are leftovers. There's no fridge. And if you leave it out and it's hot, you start to see maggots, things, bees, flies. They start to come around the food and start to eat it, and it starts to decompose. I want you to imagine that you're hungry and you eat that food. It's not going to make you feel good, is it? That's what waste thoughts are doing to us. Waste thoughts make us sick. Emotionally, spiritually, intellectually. Do you see the condition of the world? It doesn't have to be that way. But because we're not taking the time that is needed to nurture our greatest resource of the mind, the world is revealing what we have become. On one level, it is getting better. But on the level of character and grace and ethics and morals and values as an individual alive, to really look hard for it nowadays. And that's because when an individual serves wasteful thinking, they really hit at their character and their morals and their values and their ethics and their integrity and their value and their worth. Everything goes down with those waste thoughts. Waste thoughts are connected to the ego of the self. Waste thoughts are connected to your attachments. Waste thoughts are connected to greed. Waste thoughts are connected to your attachments. I don't know if I mentioned that, but anger. Waste thoughts are connected to your desires. So, in a 24-hour period of a day, how are you living? Where are you spending your greatest resource of thought on, or who? Your thought is energy, and your thoughts become reality. Whatever you keep thinking, you will become. While you're in that process and you're looking at social media or your YouTube or your TV, and you're looking at maybe the highlight, the magnitude of a person's life, maybe you're visualizing the power of a person's existence. There are people that become recognized because of achievements. How did they get in that position? Their thought pattern. Remember Michael Jordan? What did he used to do all the time? Remember the race, what's her name, for NASCAR? What did she do all the time? Thought pattern. You become what you think. Oprah Winfrey did her talk show for 25 years straight without calling in for one day of sickness. Her thought pattern made her one of the greatest orators of our time. A thought pattern. When you look at somebody, I was in Vancouver doing a filming, and there's a street, and unfortunately a few of these residents are on fentanyl and this drug, and when you looked at that genre and group of God's children, they were hanging like this, they were on the floor like that, some were just like this. They would not even fall down, they would just hang like this. Their thought pattern was, I need another hit. I just need another hit. I just need another high. Just need another high, another hit. And as a result of feeding that same thought over and over again, it has put them in that condition, and I'm sure people have tried to help them. But it's just their destiny for now. They won't be like that forever. That's the only hope I get when I look at them in that condition. It's just a phase for now. And so this time in history is known as a confluence of you identifying your iron-aged thinking, which are your wasted negative thoughts. And in this confluence, which is your age of great transformation, you find the courage and the strength within you to change that pattern of thinking towards a world that would be golden aged, sufficient, abundant, full of joy and power. And it's only at this window of opportunity, we have this chance to practice, to experiment, to investigate where these thoughts are taking me. On the streets, or in one of the highest positions in life. You have to ask yourself, why am I here? Why am I here? Why? Is it to complain about this person? Is it to judge people? Is it to be so down on myself thinking, I'll never be as good as this one? Or why does that one get all the opportunities and I don't? Is it for me to waste my thinking process on that? If I keep thinking like that, what do I become? Useless to myself and to others. If my thoughts are wasteful and I'm not creating thoughts that are good, filled with good wishes and pure feelings, what am I here for? Evil? To complain my whole life? Or to get up and do something with my life that helps humanity become a better version of itself? If we can witness more people in the world being positive and optimized and doing more than they should do, or more than they think they can do, it inspires you. Now, along the way, when you're thriving to the top, so many naysayers. People become so jealous of your success. Right now in the United States, there's quite an interesting campaign going on between two political parties. And two political parties that represent two complete different energies. One will complain about one, another complain about the other. One will speak about Kamala Harris, this. I said, just shut up. They've done so much. They're in a position for a reason. Then one will complain about Donald Trump. He's evil, he's that. Shut up. There must be a significant reason why this man is in our story. We're all learning something from each other, but can you find the golden piece, the golden nugget? A positive thinker will look for the benefit in both and all scenes. Somebody who is in wasteful thinking patterns will always look at what's wrong with someone. And they just stay there. Oh, Kamala Harris is like that. Oh, Donald Trump is like that. And they just stay there. They're like, what is Donald Trump teaching us? What is Kamala Harris teaching us? Wow, both of them are in this race together. What is humanity learning from these two? Angels, God's children. I don't care what you think. They are God's children, both of them. And both of them have been selected to come on the world stage to show us who we are. To show us who we are. There's a saying in the Brahma Kumaris. Baba had left us with this mantra once. As is the king, so will be the citizens. I love that so much. It keeps ringing in my head over and over again. As is the character of the citizens, so will be the character of the king. And so when we witness individuals that are in positions of leadership, they're not there for me to sit back in my couch and do nothing about my society or my civilization, and for me to criticize them day in, day out. It is for you to look at both of them and see, what do they represent in you? You see, somebody with positive thought process or constructive thought process would look at both of these scenarios and ask, what am I learning? Who am I when I look at them? What do I feel when I look at this soul? What do I feel when I look at a person who doesn't waste their thoughts will see benefit in everything. They won't get stuck. Kamala Harris is like this. Oh, Donald Trump is like this. I can't believe you vote for Kamala. I don't believe you'll vote for Trump. Geez, just stop. First identify in these candidates your process of thinking. What do they represent in your character as a person? As is the king, so are the citizens. You are like your king, and your king is like you. What are your thought process now? Now that you look at a different perspective of things. So what I'd like us to do is to take a pause and just close your eyes for a moment and rest into what I just shared with you. I'm going to ask one question, and I want you to see what emerges inside of you. It's a simple question. And the question is, who am I? Who am I? Who you are is a sum total of your many thoughts and experiences. If your thought process is to be benevolent and help people, people will come to your aid. If your thought process is to take from people, people will come to take from you. If you continuously practice over and over again, I'm God's child, I'm here to serve, I'm here to serve, I'm here to help, what will happen for your destiny? People will always come to help you. It's the power of positive thinking, not wasteful thinking. Wasteful thinking will waste your life, waste your breath, waste your money, waste your relationships, and waste your time. The ball is in your court. How do you want to live this life now? Who am I? Answer the question honestly. Who am I? Your thoughts will reveal the answer to you. It might reveal negative ideas, but it will also show you the positive solutions. But you have to listen, because waste thoughts can become very noisy in your head, you know. Let's go to our awakened intelligence and see if I went down a different road in here. I wasn't planning to go there, but I ended up there, so let's hear what awakened intelligence has to say today. How to put a stop. Recognize the negative thought. First step is to become aware of the negative thought. Challenge the thought. Ask yourself, is that thought true? Reframe the thought. That means put the thought in a different perspective. Once you've challenged the thought, try to reframe it in a more positive and neutral way. Practice mindfulness. Engage in positive activities. Engage in activities that bring you joy or relaxation. Use positive affirmations. Create a list of positive affirmations or statements that counteract your negative thoughts. Practice gratitude. Regularly reflect on the things you're grateful for. Limit exposure to negativity. Reduce exposure to negative influences such as certain media, environments, or even people who bring negativity into your life. Seek support. Talk to a trusted friend or family member or therapist can help. Create a routine. Establish a daily routine that includes time for relaxation, reflection, and activities that promote positivity. Replace the thought with a positive one. Each time a negative thought arises, consciously replace it with a positive one. Let go of perfectionism. That's very stressful. I used to practice it. Understand that it's okay to not be perfect. And use a thought-stopping technique. Some people find it helpful to use a mental command like stop, or a physical action like snapping a rubber band on their wrist to interpret their negative thoughts. In the Brahma Kumaris, we do something called traffic control, where we pause for 1 to 3 minutes on every hour. Maybe I'll talk about that tomorrow on tomorrow's show. So let's take a moment and go to the beautiful Sister Gita effect. And thank you to Awakened Intelligence for giving us more tools.
I am selecting from Remember Me the idea Man Manabhav, which means be mine with your mind. I am called by many names. You have called me Shiva, Jehovah, God, Allah. You have built temples and churches for me, and searched for me on pilgrimages and on mountains. But you couldn't see me with those eyes. My form is a divine, subtle light, like a shining star. I reside in a world of consciousness far beyond this material universe. You too used to reside with me in this supreme abode of timeless peace and silence. Your form is also like mine, divine, subtle, eternal. Like a star, you are a soul, and the soul is an actor. You are playing your part through the body in this unlimited drama of life. Change is inevitable, so there's no need to be attached to anyone or anything. After playing many parts, you have forgotten who you are. You truly have. You have forgotten your original home, and you therefore have forgotten me. I am your father, your teacher. I am not omnipresent. I appear in the drama of life to liberate you from the strings of illusion and the attachments to them. I am the purifier. I create the most beautiful portrait of you. I am your purifier father. I am the director of the drama play. Be mine with your mind. Remember me. Om Shanti.
I was thinking so much of her today, actually. It's interesting as time moves on. It's not like her physical form comes in my consciousness, but the energy of her character. And just today I was thinking of her because we've been so busy. Today's Avyak signal: in order to be constantly victorious, practice being stable and be a detached observer. By being a detached observer, you will enable your body to perform good actions. This stage of a detached observer will give you an experience of everything being easy, because there's no obstacle for someone who is an observer and who is detached. As you continue to move along, things will become very easy for you and you will claim victory over everything. Very true. So good morning everyone, or good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are located. Gigi, Deja, Dinesh, Rasmi, Ann, Senshin, Jenna, Lilawati, Kailash, Melissa, Kushali, and Jackie and Indu. Thank you so much for joining us on the next normal. Your time that you spend with me and the crew for these 30 minutes or 25 minutes of just inspiration means a lot to me. And so hopefully it touches something in you. It's your daily dose. It's what keeps you going, keeps you going. That's my wish, that it keeps you going and you just become the best version. It's simple, but always it'll be practical, simple, and very purely offered with the best of intentions. So thank you all so much for joining us today, and just be well. Just be well. If you want to increase your love, just practice loving everybody the same. Your attachments will decrease. Take care.